Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Major and minor party leaders have made their final pitches as most Tasmanians prepare to cast their ballots in tomorrow's snap state election. But as votes are lodged, more questions remain over the costings for the Liberals and Labor's signature policies.
Just hours away from election day, the Liberals can almost taste it.
You feel those getting worked on for democracy sausages tomorrow?
Oh, the other Barbie, yeah.
At a local food producer, the Premier made his final pitch to voters.
We have a united team and we've got the leadership to get on with the job.
Committing to 147 actions in the first 100 days, such as setting up TasInsure and introducing a Minister for Ageing.
There is a lot to do. There's a lot that's been done.
Labor's firing up the Barbie early.
Oh yeah, it's looking good.
In a morning party gathering in Glenorchy before Dean Winter travelled north for his last-ditch pitch.
For a fresh start after 11 years of the Liberals.
His signature health policy at the centre of his last day of campaigning.
We need to provide more services in towns and suburbs where Tasmanians live to take pressure off our hospitals. And that's why Tassie Doc is so important.
But questions remain around funding for both parties' key commitments. A Treasury report on the Liberals' TasInsure initiative says it's unclear if its precursor, the MAIB, has enough reserves to cover the start-up costs.
We're not going to reveal a business case that gives a competitive advantage away.
But Labor's key policies, Tassie Doc and Renew Tas, haven't yet been costed by Treasury.
Both parties were caught unprepared for this election and they put popular proposals up without having the time to fully ground them.
The Greens hope to add to their ranks.
We are feeling really positive. We've worked really hard to represent Tasmanians.
Digging their heels in against Macquarie Point Stadium.
Every single door, everyone has an opinion, and overwhelmingly people don't want the stadium built.
Well, for more, we're joined by state political reporter Anthony Dodd, who is live from the tally room. Anthony, what can we expect come tomorrow?
Well, Kim, while recent polling suggests that we could very well be set for another hung parliament, with elections, anything could still happen. Now, a record number of Tasmanians have already put their votes in early, but most are expected to cast their ballots at polling stations across the state tomorrow. While both Labor and the Liberals have much in common when it comes to policy positions, they've drawn the battle lines between two key initiatives. For the Liberals, it's TasInsure, their proposed state-owned insurance company, which the party claims will provide more affordable prices for households and businesses than what's currently being offered in the market. While Tassie Doc has been the focus for Labor, 10 fully bulk billed GP clinics across the state, which will also include a telehealth and mobile GP service. The Liberals are only matching part of that policy with 5 clinics. When the vote count starts, it will be interesting as well to see how the numbers look for independents and the Greens, with some observers saying they could see an uptick with votes. Now, Tasmanians will still have plenty of time to cast their votes if they haven't done so already. Polling stations open from 8 a.m. and will close at 6 p.m. Kim?
Okay, so don't forget. And Anthony, we will see you live from the tally room tomorrow night, where I'll join you for the full details from 6 p.m. And following on from that, we've got further coverage throughout the night. Okay, thanks, Anthony. Now to other news. 2 teenage boys are the latest to be charged with robbery, stealing and trespassing offences after another teen was allegedly assaulted near the grassed area of Mathers Lane in Hobart's CBD on Wednesday afternoon. The pair, 13 and 14 years old, now join 3 others also charged in relation to the incident, the youngest just 12 years old. Frustration is beginning to boil over at the Tasmania Fire Service with claims the state government isn't coming to the table on a new workplace agreement. The union says negotiations have been delayed and is pushing for back pay.
They're the frontline workers who battle blazes every day, but their union claims the Premier is the one playing with fire as a pay dispute heats up.
This back pay issue impacts about 400 employees in the fire service.
The union says the state government has been dragging its heels on wage negotiations and is arguing that any pay offer going forward should include back pay.
There's been a long-standing issue where during negotiations the government delays the negotiations as a tactic and then says that they're not going to provide any back pay.
Accusing Jeremy Rockcliffe of playing political games with frontline workers.
There's a lot of delays, there's a lot of misrepresentations and just, I guess, intimidation. The firefighters are feeling very dejected.
We recognise all our frontline personnel, whether they be our paramedics, our doctors, our nurses, our teachers, of course, or our firefighters.
The elected government is now being urged to come to the table and follow through with arrangements slated in February. The Premier remaining tight-lipped about where the situation stands.
We are sensible in our discussions in a measured way and good faith negotiations. We've always taken that principle to wage negotiations, and that will continue under my leadership.
Well, after every bushfire season, people like Jeremy Rockcliffe come out and say thanks to our firefighters, as they should, but now's the time to actually back them. This is a workforce that needs support.
Rebecca Gadanera, 7 Tasmania News.
Moviegoers were left in shock this morning after a vandalism attack on Launceston's Village Cinema last night. A man in his 40s reportedly threatened onlookers before attacking the building's windows and doors. He then left the premises. Police are investigating. A new Tasmanian study has unearthed an alarming link between paying for rewards in video games and long-term psychological distress. Seemingly free games offer bonuses, often too good to be true, and now researchers are worried it could mean a rise in gambling rates.
Online video gaming seems to be all fun and games, but there's a dark side when it comes to loot boxes, a randomised reward paid for by the player who doesn't necessarily know what they're buying.
What I'm going to be doing is opening about 8 loot boxes.
A study conducted by a team of UTAS researchers sounding the alarm when it comes to the link between purchasing loot boxes and mental health issues.
What it shows is that the more people are spending relative to the amount of money that they have, the more psychologically distressed they also are.
The concerning trend, sometimes so addictive, a small percentage of gamers reported spending more than their entire disposable income on loot boxes.
The fact that it is very gamified, the fact that you watch an animation and see it unboxed and then get a reward for it, it is akin to gambling.
It sparked significant concerns, particularly when it comes to young people, with free popular games like Counter-Strike and Fortnite offering the chance to exchange real money for the instant bonus, often at their parents' discretion.
A lot of those games contain loot boxes where they will reward you free cosmetics and then get you to pay for certain ones after the fact.
Researchers like Aaron say there's still a way to go when it comes to identifying a clear link between online game purchases and gambling in the outside world.
Exposure to loot boxes, people who are engaging with loot boxes, they're migrating into gambling at higher rates, and we don't know exactly what's going on there, but work is continuing to understand that going forward.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, Tasmania is in the firing line for a wild and windy weekend with damaging gusts forecast in some areas. A severe weather warning has been issued for the whole state tomorrow when a strong cold front sweeps through mid-morning. It will bring winds of up to 100 kilometres an hour, starting in the west before extending to Hobart and Launceston by the afternoon. The SES is urging residents to secure any outdoor items and be prepared for potential power outages. More details with Peter Murphy a little later. Now, speaking of staying safe, ahead of the final Hawks game in Launceston for the AFL season, Hawthorn is partnering with first responders to deliver an important message. With Tasmania's road tolls skyrocketing compared to last year, we are being urged to take care when driving.
The Hawks hitting the deck ahead of a crucial clash with Port Adelaide. But stretching legs and meeting fans at UTAS Stadium isn't the team's only job this weekend. They're teaming up with first responders to deliver an important message on road safety.
As a young father, trying to set a standard, that's why I'm so passionate about staying safe.
This weekend's game shining a spotlight on road trauma, raising awareness of the impacts deadly crashes have.
Especially when they're coming from a football game, they're there to have fun with their friends and family. Those decisions that you make behind the wheel impact everyone in the community. It's your friends, your families, it's the nurses and doctors in the hospital.
The ripple effect extending far into the community.
One of the worst jobs as a police officer is attending someone's home to tell them the loved one has been killed in a car crash.
27 lives have been lost on our roads so far this year. That's almost as many as the whole of 2024.
Unfortunately, history tells us we're likely to lose more lives on our roads before 2025 is over.
Hoping to drive home the point.
Messages for those people would be stop and think about it.
Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
A new regional graduate program is offering interns a leg up into the banking industry. It's being run by Westpac with a strong focus on agribusiness. The successful applicants will get hands-on experience in lending, portfolio management and risk assessment. They can choose to be based in Launceston or in one of 9 other major regional centres, including Tamworth, Orange and Toowoomba. The goal of the program is to get graduates to start and build their careers in the industry.
The purpose of it is to help retain them in regional areas and also develop them into long-term bankers that can actually work with our regional customers, who really are the backbone of Australia.
Applications are open on Westpac's website and close on August 15. For a 3rd year in a row, Tasmania's tourism industry is getting ready to take centre stage. From weekend getaways to some furry friends, locals are set to discover the best the state has to offer, and don't be surprised if you run into a devil or two.
A major Tasmanian tourism event is gearing up for next weekend, and it's not just humans getting in on the action.
So this is Rosie the diva, and we have Harlequin.
These 2 pregnant alpacas will be front and centre at this year's Tasmanian Tourism Showcase.
Last year was our first year, and we had such positive feedback and great networking that we have had some stellar outcomes.
But their biggest challenge, sharing the spotlight with this one.
The handlers of the alpacas thought that they might have thought Rumman was a bush and they were going to start eating.
The Devils Football Club is also jumping on board as it prepares to be a major draw card for winter events.
How do we ensure that those people that do come in for footy, that they spend more, that they stay longer, that they get out into the regions?
But the animals aside, there's plenty more to be excited about.
We've got 84 different exhibitors and stalls from all around the state.
A rare chance to connect directly with operators, with more than $10,000 worth of prizes up for grabs.
There'll be accommodation offerings, there'll be tour and cruises, there'll be experiences that you can do on the day, so come along.
So whether you're in it for the alpacas, the mascot or the adventures, there's something for everyone. The event opens to the public next Saturday. Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
Team ACT New South Wales has touched down in the Apple Isle ahead of tomorrow's state representative clash. Both Tasmania's men's and women's sides will be out for redemption after defeat last year, and they know it could be tough.
They've got a few ex-AFL players, and I think they'll be very pumped on the fact that they had a good performance last year, but I think we're just going to focus on us.
It's 2 very competitive sides, that's for sure. Tassie, gave us a red hot crack early, and then it was a grind. So it was a really good game, and yeah, no doubt it'll be another good contest tomorrow.
First bounce is at noon tomorrow at North Hobart Oval. She might have had Year 12 exams in a couple of months, but the Tigers' newest signing has swapped the books for the Nets. 17-year-old bowler Sarah Kennedy has been spending her school holidays with the Tigers for pre-season training.
I promise I am studying a little bit if any of my teachers see this. But yeah, no, it's been a balancing act, but I've really enjoyed it.
She's proven to stand up in difficult situations, represented Australia at under 19 level, so absolutely if she's fit and firing, I tell you what, I don't want to be at the selection table this year, that's for sure.
The Tigers are shaking out the off-season rust, sharpening up for Game 1 in September. And it's shaping up to be a blockbuster weekend in local netball. The elimination finals taking over Launceston Silverdome. The Hawks hoping to hold on to home court advantage against Cripps Waratah.
This is going really well. Cripps will be really interesting. So we've won 1, lost 1 and drew. So it's going to be very tight competition because I feel like we match up really, really well against them.
Meanwhile, Cavs will be taking cooler heads into their clash with Kingston, despite an unbeaten regular season.
We're honestly just going to take the game as it comes, and yeah, we'll put our best brand of netball out onto the court that we can.
In the under-19s, Northern Hawks are the hunted, coming into finals with just 1 loss for the season. And that's all in sport tonight, Kim.
Okay, thank you very much, Annie. We'll have the weekend weather forecast next with Murph.
Good evening. Hobart and Burnie 15 today. Launceston and Devonport recorded 14 degrees, while around the state the temperatures range from -3 at Fingal to our high of 16 at Bushy Park and King Island. Flinders Island, Smithton, St Helens, Friendly Beaches and Strawn all 15 today. Low cloud moved over, bringing light showers to the west and far south. Burberry to 4 p.m. recorded 7 millimetres. A frontal band is to our west, that's pushing well back to Western Australia. A cold pool of air in behind that as well. Northern New South Wales and southern Queensland still with a few thunderstorms. Tomorrow's chart has the front on final approach to the state. A trailing trough passes over South Australia. And the winds, we know, they're going to be pretty fierce tomorrow. Interesting polling day. Lucky we've all voted. Blowing up to 40 knots over the west and south and from 30 to 35 knots over the rest of the coast and the inland lakes. Swells at 7 metres in western waters. We have a severe weather warning that's been issued for damaging winds right across the state. A gale warning for all Tasmanian coastal waters. A strong wind warning for the inland lakes and various inlets, including the Derwent Estuary. So, polling day around the state. Windy and showery. Hobart 14, 12 for Medina and 10 for Oatlands. Similar conditions for Launceston, a top of 13 degrees. Showery and windy for Devonport, 13 as well. 0 to 5. The range for Lyawini, a bit of snow as well. Burnie, showery and windy 13. 13 for Strawn and Marrawar the same. St Helens tomorrow, similar sort of picture. Top of 13 degrees. Swansea 14 and 13 the top for Orford. On Sunday, fine and sunny over most regions. Showers easing from Strawn and the Bass Strait Islands. Still some snow to 500 metres. Patchy inland frost and valley fog on Monday. However, mostly fine weather expected. And on Tuesday, showers initially in the north, extending statewide by the afternoon. Sunny and 17 in Perth tomorrow. 15 with a shower for Adelaide. Partly cloudy in Melbourne. Sunny in Sydney and Brisbane. And Darwin pushing up to 32 tomorrow. Clear in Hobart at the moment, it's 11, 9 right now in Launceston. In Devonport it's 10 degrees. Look forward to seeing you working the election tomorrow night, Kim. I know we don't keep any secrets from each other. Who are you voting for?
It's just a shame you're not sitting, Murph, because I could give you my number 31 vote. That is all your news for this Friday. And if you hadn't already, don't forget to vote tomorrow. And please join us tomorrow night from 6 p.m. for a full wrap-up of Election Day. We'll then be coming to you from the tally room from 7 as those votes start to flow in, and we will continue to keep you updated throughout the night. But for now, from the 7 Tasmania News team for this Friday, it's good night.